All right, welcome to the Good Rookies Show. My name's Faheem.
My name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are good rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's the Good Rookie Show.
Yep, yep.
Yep, yep. What's going on, y'all? As you know, we're your hosts coming to you from Toronto, Canada, the six. You understand? And guys, as you know, we bring you the hottest topics in sports and culture. You done know. So this week, great things to talk about. I actually was very excited that Team Canada, Bleacher Report even reported on it. I was like, damn, the
Mm.
team that's kind of hot when Bleacher Report posts the team of Team Canada on their socials. Pretty exciting time. I know Fahim spoke about Team Canada roster, about players not wanting to be a part of it. That was back when Steve Nash was running it. We called up people like Andrew Wiggins, probably one of our first topics, not with good rookies, but our previous topics, previous podcast. So Fahim, do you have the roster there? Tell the folks who's made thus far that FIBA World Cup roster.
All right, so the starters looks like it's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the point, Jamal Murray at the two, RG Barrett at the three,
Probably
Kelly
switch it up.
Olynyk at the
Switch it up. Jamal plays one and Stray plays two.
So who plays point in OKC?
I would say maybe they play kind of hand in hand. Shea is more that like shooting type guard role, but Josh Giddey to me plays point when I watch them play. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Um, so
but
we
yeah. So
have
door three, yeah.
Shea, Jamal Murray, RG Barrett, Kelly Olynyk, and Dwight Powell.
Okay,
That's the five, the starters.
okay, cool.
Off the yeah, mm, is it
I
like
mean,
what?
I mean, compared to what we had last year, that's good. I mean, do you know who our stars were last time in the FIBA World Cup? It wasn't SGA or Jamal Murray. They didn't play. So I think that's a big
Mm,
upgrade. RJ played last year, but SGA was injured. Jamal Murray was injured. So those two guys didn't play in the last FIBA World Cups. And in the Olympics, they didn't play either because they were both off injury as well. So that is good compared to our previous roster.
okay, so it's Nikhil Alexander Walker, Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, Benedict Mathurin, and Thomas Scrub. Those are 10 players that'll probably get some rotation on this, it looks like.
You said Dylan
Um,
Brooks too, right?
mhm.
Okay.
So is this something to be excited about?
Yeah, I think it's better than last time. Absolutely. Our Team
You
Canada
think?
rosters back in Olympics was not good, right? Well, it's not that good, but we didn't have I don't remember for him. We actually lost in the prelims to I think it was it Croatia? Some country. I think it was in Japan was the last Summer Olympics, right? The year where like it was delayed and so I think this definitely is better uh compared to what we had before for sure.
So
I
our
think we
front
had
court for
Haynes
Canada.
and yeah, I'm looking at the roster like we had a qualifying team and then we had so they're not showing for some reason the Olympic roster, but prior we had Trey Bell Haynes as a starting guard. We had Corey Joseph starting for us. We had Nikhil Alexander Walker. Those were our guards. So just also big up to Mikal Mulder as well. So they were the guards that were on the that were like the guards. Now having Jamal Murray, who's the NBA champion, SGA All NBA first team players, I think that's a big upgrade. You know what I mean? So that to me is huge for me. I mean that could be one of the better backcourts as well, right? SGA is an All NBA player first team. That means that he's top five player, you know what I mean, or top two guard last year. So having that
Wow.
guy starting as a guard with Jamal Murray. And again, Jamal Murray, like You know what I mean? Like he plays with Jokic, who's also like a point center. I guess is his role. So like, and again, like Josh Giddey plays point guard for Team Australia. Like watching OKC and Josh, like they both kind of like they both like SGA is the scorer. Josh will like he kind of facilitates. SGA can facilitate and score. I think Jamal Murray is similar. Like he can play off the ball and on the ball. So I think having, I guess, two combo type guard players who can both facilitate and can score as our starters, yeah, that's probably like way better than what we had, right? In terms of that. And I think watching a lot of, well, I've watched some of the qualifying games, sometimes their issue is scoring. Like when you watch Team Canada, I don't know if you watch any Team Canada games for him, but when I watch them, sometimes the issue is that we can't find a bucket. We can't find a bucket for our lives. So having those two guys as scoring powerhouses, yeah, that's a big deal, I think, for Team Canada. Along with having Luke Dort there, Dylan Brooks defensively. I think Kelly Olynyk played a couple years ago. I know he was doing some injuries as well, but he had a pretty good, he's a big body, right? And playing international basketball, you need big bodies out there. And I think he's a really good size. He rebounds. He plays big. He actually plays like a big guy, not trying to be on the perimeter every 2 seconds like other people in the NBA. So yeah, I actually think it's a big upgrade for Team Canada. So from what I've seen in the
Hmm.
past.
Well, I guess because of the style of the international play, it might not hurt us too much, but our front court is always very small and not like Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell, good role players, but it doesn't. I think that's always been our weakness. We haven't really had a legitimate big man, but I guess in comparison to other teams that's going to be in there, it's not going to matter because it's international play. Um, the game might be different, so we'll see.
Yeah, plus international play, there's more inside game in international play. So to your point, the big size does matter when you're playing like the African nation teams. Some of the Eastern European teams are bigger, right? But our issue is never size. Our issue is always just scoring. We just didn't, we just couldn't score. Like we weren't scoring well. That's our issue, right? When you watch Team Canada, we just like sometimes, especially in that overtime game, like we should have won that game in the qualifying for Olympics, but we just couldn't score. It was like it was just, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
having someone like a Jamal Murray or SGA, they're gonna get, like those teams are gonna definitely want to double them, like focus on them. So that means other guys will get open, right? That means other guys can get opportunity to make a bucket or they go off, right? Either way, having Jamal Murray and SGA to me with this team, I think it's gonna put us up one than what we had before. Cause remember,
Hmm.
Team Canada hasn't made it to the Olympics. I'm not sure how long it's been, but it's been a while. So I
Hmm.
mean, if we can do well the World Cup, keep adding talent because more talent's coming in to the NBA, right? We got Benedict, my boy Matherin, like what I'm saying. We got Nemhard, like we got other guys coming up now too that could play for Team Canada in the future. So I'm liking the pipeline that we're building. So
Nice. And a
and
prediction.
again,
How do you
Faheem,
think
I
we're going
did
to do?
Google it. So SG and Josh Giddey, they play like Giddey plays point guard and shooting guard, and so does SGA. So SGA does have a point guard designation beside his name, so he does play both. Yeah, but when you watch them play, it's like Josh is the point to me.
The reason why went to Kentucky is because of
Mm-hmm.
his ability to run an offense and pass the ball. He was
No,
not
I
athletic.
get that argument about that. My argument is with this OKC with Josh Giddey.
Mm,
I'm asking you when you watched them play last year, who do you think was more playing more point, Josh Giddey or SGA? Is my question.
right. I don't know. I never thought of it. I did, like when I watched him, I've just always thought he was the one and Giddy was the two. I think, yeah. I just thought SGA was the point guard. Giddy, he could pass the ball, he could facilitate, but
He plays point guard too. So I'm saying they both play point guard. That's what I'm saying is the different. Like they both play point
okay.
guard. Yeah, right. They both, but that's what I'm asking you. Like when you watch them play though, like now they're playing together, right? Josh Giddey has more assists than SGA the last couple of years, and when SGA is out, because he does miss games the past couple of years, because he hasn't been playing as much. He played last year a lot more. Good, big up to him. But the last is Josh Giddey's first year. SGA was kind of, I won't say he was doing low management, but he was missing quite a few games. And Josh was playing more point, like he was the more point guard when SGA's out. So when SGA is not playing, Josh is the point guard for the team. So even though he's like a bigger point guard, like he's a guy that I wish Delano Banton can like freaking play like in terms of like because he's actually a really good facilitator. I don't think people think like he's okay passer. Like he's actually really good at passing the ball. Like that's something that he's
Mhm.
pretty good at. But
Mhm.
like he's a bigger guard. I wish Delano was like that. But big up to Delano. I was in Boston, but yeah, when I watched him play, I feel like
Mhm.
Shea just scores now. Like his role is now more like give me the ball, I'm going to score, and he could pass it out, of course, but he's doubled and all that. I think Josh is not a score first. He's more of a pass first type player to me. Um, so, but yeah, I'm looking now like
That's fair.
his all his life, his first 2 years with OKC, he was a shooting guard for them. I'm seeing that now, and
Who
then
was?
SGA when he first.
Okay.
So Clippers, he was a point guard. Yeah, I'm looking at what they have in position, and then after that, he was a shooting guard, and then the last 2 years, I guess, point guard, shooting guard. He started more at the point guard with Josh Giddey, but Josh Giddey plays point too. So, but yeah, it seems like he's played shooting guard for a few years, point guard for a few years. So I guess he's a combo guard, I guess, in the layman's term. But he's played both in terms of what I'm seeing in his career, not just the one. But anyway, I'm actually happy about the upgrade of the point guard, shooting guard position for Team Canada. I think that was something that we're missing. We've always had size, just never had like prolific scores on the team. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to kind of see what they do. And, again, just the fact that other American outlets were even reporting on it. We've never had other outlets report on Team Canada ever. So I think that's pretty dope for him.
Yeah, so let's hope that we can medal. That would be ideal. Um, we have to
Woo!
win the gold, but at least medal. That's the
But
goal.
so like what do you think is something well you weren't really impressed with this roster, first of all. So now you think so do you think we should medal with this roster or not? I know you weren't really like what do you think with this roster?
Uh,
Where we'll land?
I'd hope we medal. Um,
Okay.
I I still don't think, but let's hope. Let's hope. And also, if they get past the qualifying age, then come the Olympics, they could still add people on, right? Like Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Wiggins is in there. Maybe he can come on also. You know what I'm saying? So maybe
Yeah.
the closer they get to the Olympics, they can add more and kind of build on it, right? So
Yeah, Wiggins didn't commit to this one, so maybe he's going through, his family stuff. So.
yeah.
But let's see if he can. I think he was on a qualifying team, which was nice of him. So he did
Mhm.
make he did join the team roster, qualifying roster, but he didn't commit to the World Cup roster. So
FIBA World Cup.
yeah, it's August. I just saw it. August 25th is when
Yeah,
it starts
August 25th in Indonesia. There we
in
go.
Indonesia. Wow, and it looks like there's quite a few games. Canada plays 9:30 a.m. France. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one.
Oh,
Well,
France.
Brooks is
Oh,
not playing for it, but Gobert will be there. They have a good team, I think. They have some guys on that team. Did it Embiid? Which team did Embiid is not
yeah, it
playing
was
for?
Embiid. Yeah, I don't think he ended up doing it, but they talked about him playing for the
Did they
France team.
remember
Yeah.
like he's playing for whoever give them money? I thought Embiid's playing for another team.
Oh, really?
I thought Embiid was, I thought he's playing. Yeah, so it says that he's not playing this upcoming World Cup, but he is securing French citizenship
Right.
for him to be on the French
So you could
national
play for France,
squad.
right?
I'm like, is he the French national squad, man? He's like, pay up. You know what I'm saying? He said, pay up.
Francs. Pay them Francs.
Oh, man.
All right. All right. So Nelly J, you want to go to for the culture?
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today we get to highlight two basketball talented players. So I stumbled upon this earlier this month and I was like, this is so cool. So Brianna Stewart, Miss Stewie, and Nafisa Collier, they're actually partnering up, Faheem, which I think to create a new league, a league in a new domestic, I should say, league, for the WNBA. It'll be an off-season league, so it won't be the same. It won't be the same time as the W, called Unrivaled. So this is a league that gives like WNBA players who don't want to play overseas a winter and spring month type, you know, opportunity to play in America. And this is something that, of course, reported by Big Up to ESPN. And I thought it was really cool. For those who don't know, the FIBA plays for the Minnesota Lynx, and so she's also a forward. But I thought it's really cool to see like they're currently in a league, like they're playing like basketball now. They're not retired. They're not giving up the sport and now looking. They're actually creating like opportunity for their fellow athletes today,
Woo!
right? And I think that's what it is. Like athletes creating their own leagues. I've always been for that. I think it's amazing. And women's sports is growing so much. So I really love the fact that, this is something that is being added. Now, on top of that, for those who don't know, the W required players to return from overseas by May 19th, right? If they don't do so, they cannot play at all in the WNBA, which is a new rule. That wasn't something that like there wasn't like, oh, you have to come back by this time to play. They're making it a priority. Like we gotta be a priority to y'all, right? As you know, pay like their pay has gone up a little bit and stuff like that, but they're really trying to make this a premier league in the world. So I thought it was pretty dope, Faheem. The W is moving in the right direction, but what's really amazing is that 3-on-3 basketball has been growing. Um, I mean, they have Olympics 3-on-3 basketball, they have FIBA World Cup 3-on-3 basketball. I just think that this was a natural investment to make, and the market is there for that. So, and the fact that these guys can stay home after the whole BG incident, I think it's really cool. So, Faheem, what's your thought on Stewart and Collier having this type of league? Both have played overseas, by the way, made lots of money out there as well. But the fact that they now want to make opportunity for the ladies in within their own country, thoughts on that, Faheem?
So it's obviously, a big power move. Shout out to them for that. I just wonder in regards to what's so their season is during the summer. So that means this 3-on-3 tournament is
From May
going to be
19th is camp.
sorry, February 19th is camp
No,
for the
no, no. I'm saying May 19th is
yeah.
when camp starts for the W. Yeah.
Okay. So that would be that's still the summer, right? May, June, July. So it's summer. So
Not for
then
Canada. Our summer starts June, but okay.
okay.
Summer's
And
July
then
sometimes.
with
Cold as hell.
with their season, their 3-on-3 season. What months is their 3-on-3 season?
Winter and spring, so it'll be in the fall, like
Right.
probably like
So
November, October. Probably
it's
start
just
October, November. They
I
haven't
think
announced the
it's
dates yet, but it'll probably be, they
yeah,
said winter and
ballpark.
spring.
No, the reason why I'm asking is I think it's a great idea, but I just wonder in regards to the competition, during the fall and winter here, there's like a lot of they have a lot of competition, I think. Now, even in regards to um, you have even college basketball, which is growing also, that's during the school year. So, I mean, it'll have its niche market, I think, of people who want to see them. I think the format is right though for that, for them to do the 3-on-3. It's something different and fun. And as we mentioned before, Ice Cube, he's made 3-on-3 kind of very popular with his league, the Big Three. So um, I just wonder in regards to the competition and the league being in the NBA, maybe getting behind it or giving it that extra marketing. I think it has a lot of potential though, and it's a great option for them to. I'm just wondering. Lastly, I'll land with this: if you're a player, are you going to stay and play into 3-on-3 or go overseas and play um, in a women's league?
Yeah, I think to your point, the biggest push will be money. That's what drives
Mhm.
everything. So
Mhm.
they have to find enough investors, right, to invest in the league, because that's like they've created a league, but they still have to find investors, people to own, right, own like investors, funding, sponsorships. um they got to make it worthwhile for players, right? Because at the end of the day, like, to your point, they're competing with like the overseas pay versus staying at home, right? But not every top player for him can or is able to play overseas. What if they have family requirements? What if they have, they don't like this needs for them to stay in America during those months. So not every
Right.
player wants to play overseas, but a lot of them have to because the money is much better, right? For example, apparently BG was earning 1 million. Not BG, yeah, like Brittany Grimes earning 1 million per season in Russia. That's good money. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, and the
And
season isn't even like a full season, right? So,
yeah, but I'm saying like in other leagues, they pay ladies a lot of like good
right,
money,
of
right?
course.
That's what I was saying. Like it's just to me, it gives them an option, right? To your point, it's an option. And if it can come off the ground, which I think it can, because remember in the winter months, people are most likely at home watching sports, right? In Canada, where it's cold, whatever, but in the States, not that everyone in the States it is not like there's warm there's summertime all year round for some places in the States, right? So it can work out depending on where the teams are, the location. I would say location is important. Maybe they have it in a couple of the high spots, right? Like South Florida, Miami, California. You know what I mean? Like they can make it work, but to your point, there's a lot of planning that has to be done. I'm sure they have people smarter than both of us that's going to be planning out business strategy, how to get sponsors. And I think Stewie is a big name in women's sports, right? Globally. So Stewie's up and coming, top 5, top 10 player of all time. If she's not already in your top 10 or top 5, she should already probably be on the cusp of being that. So I just think this is a really good, kind of a, hey, let's pre-up this. Let's try to get something going. So that way we can get, some opportunity when it comes to. And so I like the fact that Collier and Stewart are looking to launch this new offseason league. It may take some time to get it off the ground, right? To your point, it may take 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but I like the idea. I like the initiative. That's why it's for the culture. I think it's something that I'm all about, which is athletes owning leagues. Personally, I love that movement. So if athletes
Hmm.
can be more in ownership of sporting leagues or sporting teams, I'm all for that for him
Right.
personally. So
And that
yeah.
actually, that could lead to maybe some, I don't know the format. I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe they have the teams, the 3-on-3 teams. Maybe they have players owning teams in there
Mm-hmm.
also for the 3-on-3
Yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? To give them a further incentive to build their brand and make it really inclusive. Because I'm pretty sure these are two prominent WNBA players, but they're not just doing
Mm-hmm.
it for themselves. They see the big vision that it could do for women's sports. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I agree,
Mhm.
man. So big up to that, man. Love this story.
Woo!
Thought it was really cool. And
Mhm.
yeah, let's see if this will inspire any NBA players to start their league, to start a league.
Mm.
Da, 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 da.
All right. Nelly J, let's close this out with That's Absurd.
That's absurd. Faheem, girl, what was absurd this week? What was absurd?
The Seattle Mariners,
Mm, what
Major League
about them?
Baseball. The baseball teams have team stores. In the team store, I've never heard this before, where a team store is selling the merchandise of another team. And I'm not talking, I saw an image or a picture of it. I'm not talking just like a little stand. I'm talking they stocked up. You'd almost think that it was the other team's uh, team store. So what happened is the Mariners were playing the Blue Jays and they stocked up big time with Blue Jays paraphernalia, and Seattle Mariners fans were outraged. For that, we're going with absurd.
Absurd. I think it's so funny that your own players are upset about about the fact that you're selling other. But question for him: are the Mariners even a good team? Are they like how are they doing this season? I think they're fourth, I think, or like what's their actual like standings in MLB? Because I feel like you know if I'm a store right in Seattle, let's say this right, how many new Seattle Mariners jerseys are you really selling? Like how many, right? And you know, being in the West Coast, right? You're close to Vancouver. You're gonna get an influx of Faheem. Keep in mind, they're about to play the Blue Jays, right? They're playing us right now this weekend. So they're playing us right now. If I know I'm gonna influx of Canadian fans coming to Seattle, because again, there's no other Canadian team in the country for baseball, right? Than Toronto Blue Jays. If I know I'm getting an influx of players or of fans coming in from Vancouver, wherever, to come watch their team play in Seattle, Faheem, I know they're gonna want to buy a jersey, right? I'm assuming because why not? So I think it's a really good business strategy for them to sell the opposing team because, like, yo, yeah. So for me, it's like it's a good business strategy. Like, why wouldn't you sell those jerseys because there's an influx of Canadians coming in. And actually, someone I know was at the game, Faheem, in Seattle, and he said
Okay.
there were more Blue Jays fans in the stands than Seattle fans.
Right.
So clearly, whoever was the genius of actually saying, let's sell some of these jerseys, it's a good business. Listen, guys, listen, the person who owns that store got to make money, right? It's a business at the end of the day. So it's a good business strategy. Now, for the players being upset about, this team store selling those jerseys, I mean, you can feel upset. I don't think Faheem, like, we're here to say don't be upset, but it's absurd because it's like, I mean, how much more jersey do y'all think y'all gonna sell? You know what I'm saying? Like, how
Yeah.
much more? So, I mean, and why do you care? Like, just focus on winning. You know what I'm saying? Focus on winning these games, bro. Like, you gotta worry about what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
yeah, to your point, it's hella hilarious. And kind of absurd that they were upset at the team store. I mean, you're playing an opposing team, brothers. Like, what do you
Yeah.
expect, right?
What did you expect exactly? You know what? Hearing this reminds me of the Raptors when the Raptors go to Detroit and the Raptors take over the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Raptors fans take over the stadium. Just more Raptors fans chanting. They drown out the Detroit Pistons fans at home.
Yes.
So hearing the Blue Jays go to Seattle and do so, especially being on the West Coast, that's a trip that's natural for them. It's within distance. So it's great to see that Blue Jays fans are keeping on that Canadian tradition of being
Yeah, no, for
passionate
sure.
for your team. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, I think it's kind of like I understand you may be upset about it, but it's like, man, like there's so many fans in the West Coast, Faheem, for baseball that don't get
Hmm.
to watch their team. So of course they're all gonna go down to Seattle, right? And that drive from Vancouver to Seattle is kind of short.
Hmm.
It's like driving Faheem from like, Ajax to like Saga. It's that short. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally like a 45 to an hour trip.
Yeah, they're like border towns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, but yeah, my friend that was at the game, he's like, wow, there's so many Canadians. I'm like, yeah, because they're not gonna see Blue Jays anywhere else. If I just won the Derby, like they want to see this young talented team. So you know what I'm saying? So I mean, big
Hmm.
up to the shop owner for having some cojones to be like, yo, I'm gonna sell these jerseys and make money off these Canadians. Damn it, I'm gonna make
Right.
money off these Canadians.
Right. 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 Right.
Man, that's funny though. That's
Mm.
funny that players were upset. I mean,
Hmm.
I, I mean, I'm trying to think about the last time I've seen players upset about what a team store does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
Never heard that before. Wow. Well, big up to looking at they are they're the AL West division and they are they have 50 wins, so they're above 500, but they're not in the wild card really race because the AL East is so competitive for him. The fact that in AL East has more wins, Red Sox and Yankees 52 each, right? That's more than the AL Central, AL West entire actually AL Central and AL West, of course, they got Rangers with 58, 55 for the Astros, but the AL East is so freaking competitive, man. I swear to you, Fame, every year I'm like, yo, why are we always in this most competitive baseball division? I feel like
Yep.
it's just so tough. Red Sox, Yankees, Jays, Rays, Orioles.
Hmm.
Wild. Anyway,
Yep.
anyway.
All right. So Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Yes, y'all, that was the Good Rookie Show. As you know, this time we get to do shout outs. My shout out is going to be quite simple. Big up to the Scarborough Shooting Stars for clinching a playoff spot on their last win. I was at the game. We've got some new pickups. Sean D. Brown Jr., who just joined the team. Man had 32 last game. I think he had another in the teens as well. Just huge big up to Isaiah Mike for coming back, returning to the team. He was out the first the first month or so. So he's back down the roster. So yeah, just, them clinching that playoff spot is huge, right? I know these guys are looking to try to win. Well, they want to win a chip. So it's been fun covering that team this summer. But big up to them for actually clinching a playoff spot this weekend, this Friday night. So big up to them.
Nice.
What you got, Faheem?
Big up to you, Nelly J, for supporting, being there at every home game that they have, season ticket holder, and also dedicated in covering the team. So big up to you. Keeping on Canadian basketball content, I want to shout out the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame was introduced.
Ooh.
And I just want to do a special shout out to Rowan Barrett. That's RJ Barrett's father. For those who may not be aware, he played.
RJ Senior.
He's really laid the foundation for Canadian basketball. Not only through the high school ranks. At the time, him going to St. John's was actually a big deal. Being from Toronto, playing in NCAA Division I, a prime school like St. John's was big. He played for the Canadian national team, many Olympics. So, he was awarded to the Hall of Fame for Canadian basketball. So I just want to shout him out also. And also, I'll go to list the others there. Also, Don Klein, who's an official. Joey Johnson was an athlete. Allison Lang, also an athlete. Liz Silcott. Tammy Sutton Brown, who played 12 years in WNBA. She was inducted also. So shout out to her. And Greg Wiltshire also. So these are the seven players who have been inducted into the Canadian Basketball Hall of Fame. Just want to shout them out.
Awesome. Great shout out, man. Big up to them.
All right, Nelly J, let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was a Good Rookie Show. If you had a good time and you enjoyed yourself, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to tell a friend. Faheem.
We're on all platforms. You know what it is. That's a Good Rookie Show. And we out. Peace.